Hi guys, so something that's been preying on my mind recently, and I've been talking with a few of the guys in my club about, is when we look at a lot of the tournament videos of recent tournaments, we're noticing that more and more people doing longsword in tournaments are fighting from this sort of what we'd call Posta Breve position, quite similar to the way the shinai is held in kendo, for example. Now, not to say that there's anything wrong with that position, you know, it exists in the medieval and Renaissance treatises, but it seems to be getting, shall we say, overused quite a lot, and also coupled with a right foot forward stance as well. And I think this is a little bit concerning from the point of view of someone who's wanting to reconstruct historical fencing styles, because if you look at the actual original treatises, this is clearly not the case. They're using passing footwork most of the time, and although this guard is shown, it's not the predominant guard at all. In actual fact, you know, these sort of posta di donna, be careful of the roof here, posta di falcone, finestra or ox or flug, these sort of positions are certainly much more common and are the sort of the textbook positions of medieval longsword. So you know, I asked myself, why are so many people fighting from this position with the hands in front of the body a lot of the time and the point in the middle, and the right foot forward? Well, the right foot forward thing, I think, is generally, I think it's a little bit of laziness. Lunging footwork like you use in sabre, from my point of view, is essentially easier, it's simpler than passing footwork, and I think a lot of people have problems getting their feet to pass under pressure. They might be good at doing it in club sparring, but not so good in tournament sparring. So I think that's one reason about the passing footwork. But as for the hands in front, I think partly it's psychological, because if you've got the weapon in front of you, you feel like you're sort of defended better, or you're preventing the person from getting too close to you, you're threatening them with the point. But you know, I do then go back and wonder, okay, why isn't this a very common position in medieval treatises? And my answer to my students has always been that the main reason is probably to do with your hands. And if we look at Fiore de Liberi's treatise, Fior di Battaglia, Flower of Battle, you know, he says that Posta Breve, this position with the hands in front of your sort of tummy, is fine in armour but not very reliable out of armour. And you think, okay, why might that be? Well, okay, my arms and my hands are pretty vulnerable to these sort of snipes, or upwards cuts at the fingers maybe, or upwards or downwards cuts at the forearms and wrists and so on. So I've always thought that the positions like ox or finestra or posta di donna, all of these are there essentially because they work well with passing footwork to give either thrusts or cuts, but also because you're keeping your hands back, withdrawn away from the opponent, so it means that you don't have to worry so much about the opponent sniping you and clipping your fingers and so on, because let's face it, a sharp sword in your fingers, it might not be a killing blow, but it might disable you enough that the person can then do a pretty easy killing blow after that. So I've always thought, you know, unprotected hands, medieval hilt, so generally speaking you keep the back end of the weapon, your hands, away from you and away from the opponent and close to yourself. And yet we're seeing a lot of this sort of Posta Breve position in people's sparring in tournaments, so I kind of am starting to wonder if it's partly a product of the hand protection that people are wearing, and essentially not being as worried about being hit in the hands as they should be in reality. So that's one thing to think about, and I might have some more thoughts about this later.